So the message of the Ophanim is really, calling for us to have greater wisdom in this season. And Nina's energy being attached to the Ophanim is her coming in as the all-seeing eye. And she's allowing us to peer in to see what is happening in the physical plane and what is happening in the spiritual plane. Okay? Dealing with the Ophanim is one of the top-ranking angels that one could be visited by, right? Or could have an experience with, which is the Ophanim, okay? The Ophanim symbolizes the north, okay? The Ophanim looks like interlocking gold wheels with exteriors of each wheel covered with many eyes, okay? The Ophanim was entrusted with defending God's throne as the highest order. And so here we see Nina Simone or the Ophanim or Archangel Gabriel coming in to defend the throne. Okay? We are in a war, a spiritual war. Even though we see the war playing out in the physical, we are in a spiritual war, a war for the throne.
Yes.
And the being that is taking the throne right now is the energy of the divine feminine. The matriarch is being reseated on the throne in order for her to bring order to chaos, in order to pull order out of chaos, okay? The Ophanim is also translated to mean a sphere or whirlwind. And so this is coming in where Nina is really speaking about storms. We're going to begin to see a lot of natural storms begin to kick in over there as it relates to Ukraine, as it relates to Russia, natural disasters that we're going to begin to see happen coming out of the north, okay? This was the message of Nina, a lot of storm, a lot of whirlwind. Don't be caught up in the whirlwind. Don't be caught up in the happenings of what you see taking place in the media. Don't be caught up in the whirlwind that's coming in as it relates to the communication about the war. Don't be caught up. Fix your mind to the things of spirit, to the highest aspects of spirit, so that you are able to use wisdom in this season. Okay?
Sure.
These wheels, the Ophanim, the wheels were attached to the chariot of God. Anytime we see a chariot come into place, or when we look at the symbolism of a chariot, it is a two-wheeled horse vehicle used in ancient warfare. And so here we see the message of warfare coming in again. So this is the alerting that we are going into war. And out of this war, there is a new world that is being birthed. And in order for you to jump your timelines, you have to be present. You have to put on your blindfolds in order for you to stay fixed on the things and on the communications of spirit. So the message of the chariot is bringing in the message that we are going into a war. But our position of who we are as it relates to this war is Ezekiel. We are in the position of Ezekiel, okay? The people of Ukraine are in the position of Ezekiel. They're people being taken into captivity. And here's where it gets very interesting. This morning, Spirit was really breaking down where Ukraine fits, where Israel fits, where Iraq fits, and where Russia fits. Because they all are playing a major role. Even if you don't hear all of these places by name, know that these are the people that are playing behind the scenes. Russia, Iran, Ukraine, and Israel. As I was studying this morning, Spirit was showing me Ukraine being Israel, being a mirror reflection of Israel. And in a lot of ways, Israel protects Ukraine, and they have an understanding of their people, and they're able to do work as it relates to each other. They're able to travel in and out of each other's, homes without any foolishness. And so there's relationship there between Ukraine and Israel. And so Ukraine is almost a smoke and mirror for Israel. And if this is so, this will put us right now literally in biblical prophecy. And this, what's happening right now as it relates to the war, would be the story of Ezekiel playing out when Babylon took Ezekiel into a captivity. Okay? And so the vision that Spirit gave to Ezekiel during that time was a message that there was going to be, it's not going to go the way in which Russia or Rosh, because Russia is found in the Bible during this time of Ezekiel, but they're not called Russia, they're called Rosh. Okay? Rosh. Okay? And so Ukraine has a connection with Israel, so much so that this war begins, or rather ends, end time prophecy. So we are in end time prophecy, and me and Shai had already alerted the collective that we were in end time revelations when we first brought the message of the lantern fly, and when we first started breaking down the four horsemen. This was
October of 2020.
October of 2020. This was when we first started introducing and started talking about the horsemen. And now we see more and more people beginning to talk about the horsemen. But the horsemen really began in 2020. And now we're at the point of seeing end time prophecy really begin to play out in real time.